Dear students, hope you are all well. So today we will begin with the chapter in EVS part 1. The name of the chapter is Maps Are Companions. Now what do you mean by the word companion? Companions means your friends. How maps are going to help you. So, beginning with the chapter that how maps are going to help human being in finding the direction, how they are helpful to us to provide a guidance regarding any of the direction that we need to find. Let's move forward. In this chapter, we are going to see few points that are different landforms. This we have studied in the previous chapter. Even we are going to see maps and how they are useful. Then, what are the features of maps? We are going to see how different methods in the map are helpful to find the elevation. That means the heights even in the maps. Then the certain signs and symbols are being used, how they are utilized and what all things they represent. If we want to find any of the things in the map, even we are going to see what are the uses of these signs and symbols, how they are important to use in the maps. We are going to see that how maps are useful to us by showing its different directions, boundaries, international, national, different routes, okay, as well as different things that are available in the states or the world. Let's move forward. In the previous chapter, we have studied different landforms that are available on the earth. So, land is not equal on all the places, it is uneven. The height, the elevation is not similar at all the places, means the land at different places is different. Somewhere it is height, somewhere it's plain, right? So this unevenness gives rise to various land shapes, creating different landforms, such as you can see in the picture: mountains, plains, plateaus, valleys, hill, islands, and so on. You can see in the image how different landforms are there on the earth's surface. It is not equally presented everywhere. It's not plain. Somewhere it is heighted, somewhere it is tilted, somewhere it is medium size, somewhere rocks are also there, deserts are there. So landforms are available at different places in different forms. Let us move forward. To understand what is present in the environment and how it is useful to us to study different things. So it is necessary to study the physical and the natural setup of the land. Now, physical features like plateaus, mountains, hills, as you can see in the first picture. In physical features, what will come? Plateaus, mountains, hills, forts. These all things come under physical features. And on the other hand, there are also natural setup, the things that are available naturally. Okay, so they can be rain, water, they can be any water bodies. Now, what are water bodies? Like lake, rivers, ponds, they are called as water bodies. Be any water bodies that are present on the earth's surface, so that they are natural. They are available naturally. So it is very important whenever we are studying any of the feature of the land, we should try to understand these two things. What are they? Physical as well as natural setup of the land. Let's move forward. Now, when we continuously say that, what about maps? How they are useful, when they were found? Is map found today or now at present? No. Maps were found nearly 5,000 years ago. That means years back, 5,000 years back. So man felt the need of map when at the time of the war, during that times, during the time of war, at the time of battles. So that time maps were mainly used to understand from where their enemies are coming. Okay, that time map was useful for that. Are going to attack, from which all regions they are going to come. So firstly, maps were used in the battlefield to understand that what all are the geographical features. They need to understand from where the enemies are going to come, where, what are the geographical features. So you need a map, right? Yes, that are present on the particular land. And to understand the areas, to understand the different places near the particular region where the battle is going to take place, they need to understand, right? So you need to be well prepared for this. It is very important. People previously used to make maps. They used to make maps with their hand that would guide them in the wars. They previously used to make maps. Now we have maps in our phone. But previously during the wars and during the battles, they used to make their maps. Let us move forward. It helps in working out strategies of defeating the enemy. Strategies mean different plans how to fight with the enemies. If you might have seen any of the movies, like the mythological movies, and other than that, you must have seen movies that are related to patriotism. Okay, so in that you can see that how they have shown, like just take an example of the border movie. If you might have seen, you will come to know that how they have planned out the strategies to defeat the enemies. Okay, they have to plan, right? And they have to make a map, like where, which region they are going to go, which region they're going to attack. Okay. Then the next is, other than that, maps are very useful for this purpose because they are well prepared from where the enemies are going to attack. If you have heard about Kesari movie, in that also you must have seen that how they have planned out the things to defeat the enemies. In the same way, these maps helps us to understand and the height, the shape and various landforms that are available near the surrounding areas. When the when they go to when they have a war, they mostly have in the desert region. So they mostly, the landforms help them. If there is a mountain, they can hide. Okay, so they see all those things also. So where the hills will be, mountains, valleys, from where the enemies can come, how we can stop them from the battle, or how we can defeat them. So the landforms, where there are landforms, that will also help them because they can hide over there, right? So all these things were taken into consideration when maps were being made. There are different methods of showing these landforms on a map. Now there are different methods of showing these various landforms on a map. It can be presented in the form of hills, mountains, valleys and so on, which would help them. Let's move forward. We can show length and width of a landform on a piece of paper. But it is very difficult to show the height and the depth, and it cannot be easily presented on a piece of paper. You can show the length and width, but you can't show the height and depth on the paper. It is very difficult to do so. So to make this problem into a simpler one, there are different methods, okay, that are being used. Now to measure the height of the land, some among them is the contour line. Now there are three methods, okay, to measure the line. I'll show you later in the different slides. To measure the line, that is called a contour line method. Then there is a layer tinting method and digital elevation method. So these methods can be used to measure the height of the land. Then it becomes easier to understand the height of the land by using these methods. Let us move forwards. Now you can see these images, right? These images are of the three methods. That is, the first one is the contour line method. Then the second is layer tinting method. And the last one is digital elevation model. So, by seeing this image, you come to know that it becomes easier to measure the height and the elevation of the landforms that are present on the Earth's surface. Now the first two, that is the contour line and the layer tinting, they can be used to draw on a paper. Now the first two, that is the contour line and the layer tinting, you can draw it on a paper. Okay. Accordingly, we can differentiate on the basis of using different colors and lines showing different heights. So the first one is contour line. Now in contour line, what is there? The contour line is joining each lines, and the second one is layer tinting method. In that method there are use of different colors. We will see that later. Okay, it becomes easier to understand which method. And the third one is the digital elevation method. Now the word, when it comes to your mind, digital, it represents that it is based on technology. So this third model or this third method is helpful with the help of computers. Now the first two you can draw on paper, but on the second one you can't draw on paper. Why? Because it is based on technology and it is with the help of the computers. So computers are being used to find out the information through this kind of method. So it becomes easier to find out the information by using computers. So you are going to study about these three different methods. Let's move forward. The first one, that is the contour line method. Now, this method is used to show the unevenness of landforms on a map. Unevenness of landforms. As I told you before, landforms are not only straight, no, they are not only plain, they are on a height, right? Little more heighted, right? So, this method is used to show the unevenness of landforms on a map. The height of the land is measured from the sea level. Next points of the same height are identified. Their position is marked accurately on the map. These locations are joined. Okay, these different locations are joined with the lines. Such lines are called as contour lines. Now you will be able to understand in the next slide. Now see map A. Okay, look at this map A. In the map, lines are drawn each joining places of a specific height. There are different lines drawn. You can see in the map, right? Of a specific height. There are heights also given: 200, 300, 400, and 500. You can see in the map. Those are the heights. This way, the relief of the land can be shown easily. It helps us to understand the slope of the land and the height of different places. Now, what it helps us to understand? The slope of the land and height of different places. Now, observe the given diagram. Note that when there is less distance between the contour lines. Now, these are less distance. Can you see the circle which I have made? This is less distance between the contour lines. So the slope is how? See, it's written on top. Slope is steep. Okay. Whereas if the distance is great, the slope is gentle. Now in the first one, you can see the lines are all close to each other. So the slope will be steep. And when the lines are very far away from each other, the slope is gentle. So you can see the diagram is marked steep slope and gentle slope. So this is how you can mark on a map using contour line method. Okay, let's move forward. Now the next is layer tinting method. This method is based on the contour line. Okay, these two methods, that is the contour line method and the layer tinting method, they are related to each other. Let's see how. This method is based on contour lines. Now in this method, the spaces between the contour lines. Now can you see in this diagram? In contour line, we just draw lines and then we seen the heights. You can see in this figure there are lines drawn. So now what does layer tinting does is, in this method, the spaces between the contour line, there are spaces between the lines. Now what happens in these spaces? The spaces between the contour lines are filled with colors. Can you see different colors are filled in that? Each color indicates a specific height. Now for example, let us take water bodies. Now water bodies are which in color? For example, water bodies are colored blue. You can see at the end, it's colored in blue. Whereas the adjoining land is colored dark green. Then the next you can see on top, it's colored in dark green. Then land higher than that is colored with light green. So like that the colors go on changing. Then next, higher land is colored with yellow and so on. So, what does contour line helps us in? Filling the colors, which is with the space. The space in this method, the spaces between the contour lines are filled with colors. Okay, this is layer tinting method. Let us move forward. Let's study the given color index. Okay, note how the colors change with the height. As you go higher, the color starts changing. The color between the contour lines show up the difference in the physical setup. You can see map B over there, here, right? Then the map B, different colors according to the height of the land are expressed using different colors. So according to the height of the land, different colors are being used, okay? And the same is shown in the index. What's an index? You can see a box over there. That's called an index. So index is very important. You can see a small box, a white color box in the map, right? Where height is in meters, colors are shown in different boxes representing the height of the landform. So height is in meters and accordingly colors represent the height on the map. So this way you can use layer tinting method while representing a particular region on a map. Okay, let's move forward. The next one is the digital elevation model. Now this is the most modern method. Why is it called modern method? Because it is using technology. In this, the information is obtained through man-made satellites. Okay, is presented with the help of computers. Now see this map C. In this, we can directly observe the differences in the height of the landforms. Then the next is maps made using this method helps us to understand the physical setup of a region. In other words, they give us an idea of its height, relief and slope using computers. We can even find the height of each point on a digital map. Now, when you use technology, it automatically becomes easy for us, right? So, advanced technology can help you for a better understanding. So, digital elevation method is used by computers. We get information from the computers. Let's move forward. Now, physical maps can be used in military operations. Now, when there are some different places they have to go to fight, so it's used in the military operation. Then tourism, that is drawing up mountaineering routes. So when you go for trekking and all, also you need a map because you're going the first time and you do not know the ways over there, so you need a map. Then in making regional development plans, so you can see here a newspaper article. Now, what does this newspaper article shows? How the Thane district, look into that figure how the Thane district is planning a 29-kilometer internal metro line and 22 stations to connect the city. So this way a map is being used to make these things. Can you see there is a map over there in the newspaper article? Yes. So in this way also a map is used for various reasons, for tourism, for mountaineering, for regional and development plans. Everything you mostly need a map. When you go for trekking also, when you go for trips, you need a map. Why? Because you're going to that place the first time, right? Let's move forward. Now, the next is many people use maps, right? Nowadays, when you go to an unknown place, if you don't know the way, maps help you. But nowadays, we use maps in our phone. Many people use maps. Many components are shown in maps or outline maps. If these components are shown in different maps in different ways, it will be difficult to understand them. Therefore, now can you see there are two maps, right? The first one is the physical map, where all different places are given. Okay? And the second one is an outline map. This map, there is nothing given. Okay, this is called as an outline map. The left hand side is called a physical map and the right hand side is called as an outline map. Let us move forward. Standard signs and symbols. Now next we will see signs and symbols. Standard signs and symbols are used to make the map easy to read. These signs and symbols are universally used for specific components. Now you must have seen a map. In that map, there are signs and symbols being used. Now why these signs and symbols are being used? It's being used for you to understand it easily. Okay. So we are going to learn about the signs and symbols which are used while making a map or showing certain things on a map. Let us move forward. So let us learn about conventional signs and symbols. Now signs are used to show various things on the map as per convention. These are in the form of letters. Now listen carefully. These are in the form of letters. Or they are in the form of geometrical shapes. For example, lines, circles, triangles, dot, etc. These are called as conventional signs. Now, what do you get in? How will you understand conventional signs when there are lines? Okay, when there are circles, when there are triangles, dots, they come in conventional signs. And what about convention symbols? Okay, conventional symbols. Now, symbols are used to show various things on a map as per convention symbols. They are miniature drawings. Okay, now conventional symbols are miniature drawings of the respective object. Miniature means small. For example, temples. Can you see over them? Small drawings. Temples, mosque, forts, etc. are shown using conventional symbols. So, in conventional science, what you will use lines, circles, triangles, dots. They will come in conventional signs. And in conventional symbols, you will find all small miniature drawings like temples, mosque, forts. So they will come in conventional symbols. Let's move forward. The use of signs and symbols in a map helps the reader to get exact information about the places on the map. A list of the things that the signs and symbol represent is given in the key to the map. So when you go to some water park, like for example, you go to a water park. Also, you must have seen you get a map, like for example, Water Kingdom or SL World. Okay, and you come to know which ride is available. Now, Water Kingdom, when you go for like that, all these water rides or water parks, you do not know the ways. So they give you a small map where the rides are available. So you go by that way. Okay, and you come to know which ride is available in which particular area looking at that map. So certain in that map also there are certain signs and symbols are used in those maps. Okay, let's move forward. Now let us have a look at some signs and symbols. Okay, study the list of some of the signs of the symbols used by the Survey of India while making maps. So the Survey of India used all these symbols while making the map. So the first one is PO. Okay, PO stands for post office. Then there is a symbol of harbor is shown similarly. Symbols are shown for lighthouse, fort, burial ground, international boundary line. The international boundary line is drawn with lines and dots. So they will come in conventional signs. Okay. Then there is symbol for battlefield, railway, well, spring, triangulation mark, settlement, grass, contour line, lake, road, mine, and reserved forest. Okay, these are some signs and symbols which are used. There are both signs and symbols which are being used by the Survey of India. They used these signs and symbols in the map. Let us move forward. Now, next is, do you know? The Survey of India is the foremost map making institute in India. It was established, means it started in 1767. This institute has made a large number of topographic maps of the Indian subcontinent on various scales. By conducting field visit survey, these maps are known the world over for their accuracy. The institute's headquarters are in Dehradun in Uttarakhand. Let us move forward. That's your homework. The first question is, where there is less distance between the contour lines, the slope is dash. The next is, the colors between the contour lines is fixed according to dash. The next is, what are the various landforms? And the last one is, where is the headquarters of the Institute of the Survey of India? That's all for now. Your chapter ends over here. We will learn the next chapter in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.